Well, this is going to hang around until you access it and input your keys or your passwords, and the next day, your wallet's going to be empty. Over half of all smartphones, both iOS and Android, are infected with keystroke logging software. This is a known fact. Every site in the world, if you have ever, I'm sure nobody here has ever looked at, but if you have, if there's a rare exception, then you have keystroke logging software. How do you think they make their money? See, this is the issue. It costs millions of dollars to maintain these massive databases and have the bandwidth to disperse this, and yet you don't pay. Yes, you're paying. The instant you visit the site, if you have an Android, for example, the site runs a JavaScript which sets the download unauthorized application flag. The very first video that you watch, you now, because that's a click-through, you clicked, you did something. You said, yes, oh, good, that's yes, I'll do that. Downloads, first and foremost, a remote rooting function. If it's an iPhone, a remote jailbreaking program. All can be remotely rooted now. After it's rooted, they download a keylogger, and all this takes just a matter of seconds. And from that point on, somebody is watching every single one of your keystrokes. Now, people pay these sites for the ability to put their keylogging software on your phones. Why? Well, maybe they're a Bitcoin aficionado, and they're going to see, do you have a Bitcoin wallet like Mycelium or what have you? Yes. Well, this is going to hang around until you access it and input your keys or your passwords, and the next day, your wallet's going to be empty. Or maybe you do online banking, all right? You have a password, you have an application. The very first time you've logged into your bank to check your balance or do anything, they go, thank you very much. And the next day, your bank balance will disappear. Now, why has this not happened to you already? Because hackers are not stupid. In order to take something, they have to download additional software. If they only take 400 or 500 people's bank accounts in one day, then the next day, the white hat hackers are going to say, this is how they did it. Everybody, you can protect yourself. No, they're going to wait until one day this year or next year, and 100 million people in one day are going to have your bank accounts eradicated. Zero balance, or your identity will be stolen, or your Bitcoin wallet will be emptied, or maybe they've been watching your keystrokes to see if, maybe you're saying something to a friend or a lover that maybe could compromise you. Maybe they can blackmail you. If they get lucky, you might be a United States congressman or a senator, in which case, now not only do they have money, they have power. So this is why this is being done. We have none. There is no security whatsoever. I think this is the problem that cybersecurity professionals like myself face every day. I see people walking around, everyone has their phones out. While you are watching your phone is watching you. This is just a fact of life. The operating system is designed specifically to watch you, listen to you, find out where you are in order to help you. It needs to know who your friends are. It needs to know what you're saying in your text messages. It needs to listen to you sometimes. And so you're looking at your phone and you have all of these facilities, but it is the world's greatest spy device, designed as a spy device. Now, there's nothing wrong with that as long as the person spying on you is spying on you for benign reasons, meaning maybe they just want to sell you something. They notice that you just mentioned someone that you were hungry, and they know where you are, and there's a Chinese or a Japanese restaurant nearby, and they know you like Japanese and Chinese food because you frequently go there. And they say, oh, by the way, there's a Japanese restaurant right around the corner. That's cool. I can choose to say no. But hackers use those same facilities. They are built into the operating system. So if a hacker gets access to those facilities, they may choose to empty my bank account without my permission or knowledge, or to steal my identity, or to start charging things on my credit cards, or if I have a Bitcoin wallet or an Ethereum wallet, they can empty my wallets. That's the problem that we have, and that's just on the individual level. On the corporate level, it's horrific because the problem is magnified by the number of people within the corporation. And on the nation-state level, it's even more horrific because the nation-states have been spending years and literally billions of dollars weaponizing software to the point that almost every developed nation has the ability to press a button and destroy the power grid in any other nation. This is the facts. This is not science fiction. This is not me being paranoid. And perhaps I am paranoid, but what I just told you is real, nevertheless. I think the antivirus paradigm is no longer functional. It doesn't work. I said this 10 years ago, and I'm the person who invented it. So people should listen. I mean, if I invented it and I built the first antivirus company, viruses are not the problem. By the time hackers have planted malware in your system, it's way too late. The hackers spend weeks, months, or sometimes years sniffing around in your system, taking what they want before they even plant malware. And sometimes they don't. I mean, unless you're trying to ransom something, like a hospital, take all their data and encrypt it, and say for $100,000 you can have it back. You'll need malware at that point, but by then it's too late. Because by the time you found the malware has already done the damage. See, this is the problem. It's a reactive paradigm, and we have to become proactive.
How do we do this?
Well, from a technological standpoint, I'm personally developing products that focus on identifying the hacker, not the malware. By the time the malware is there, as I said, it's too late. But you can find the presence of a hacker in your system so easily. And every hacker has to go through certain steps in order to break into any system and do damage. The first thing they have to do is get through the firewall. After they've gotten through, and all firewalls have holes. It's impossible to build a firewall that can keep out all hackers. It just can't be done. They have to get through the firewall, and then they have to find out where they are. And so what's on this net? So they sniff every device on the network. Well, that's an anomaly. That's behavior which is not normal. I mean, who does that? Nobody. So just a very simple hardware box with very simple software would be able to at least identify that much. If you're watching all the traffic on the network and you see, oh, someone just came in through port 80, well, that itself is strange. No one comes in through that port, but they did. And then they sniffed the refrigerator or whatever's connected. If it's the Internet of Things, remember, you might have a refrigerator on your network. Refrigerator, everybody's workstation, the main server, and all the honeypots in my device. Well, that's crazy. So within a matter of seconds, I can then send an email or a text message to the CIO and say, a hacker just came in, or what looks like a hacker. And that's only one of the types of things that hackers do. There are many thousands. So, and I'm not the only person working on this. There are, others that see the insanity of what we're doing and are doing similar things. So we have a device coming out in just a couple of months called Sentinel that will identify within a matter of seconds. Now, we're not going to do anything about it. That's your job as the CIO or as the network manager. We can say there's a hacker in the system that came in through port 80, this is what they're doing. We will continue to monitor them. But you have to make some decisions as the human being. What do? You could call the authorities. I mean, I wouldn't advise that because your business will be shut down virtually because the authorities will be running around and your employees are going to be watching and no one's going to be working. You might just simply shut down port 80 and forget it. Maybe you'll come in through another port later, we don't know. If so, my box Sentinel will tell you about it. So isn't that more sane? Because it's the hackers that are doing the damage, not the software they've created. The hackers create that software.